Brian Bertundi. If anyone knows what Brian Bertundi is, they're a legend.
It's such a niche thing. No one's gonna know it. No one's gonna know it.
Brian. Everyone type in Brian Bertundi.
I don't even know what you're saying. Like
His name is Brian Bertundi.
Brian Bertundi.
But he says it in that way. It's like Brian Bertundi.
I have no idea what that is.
Maybe it's just a weird. Yeah, maybe it's just.
I think it's just
my
you being
school.
weird.
Yeah,
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Brian Bertundi. It's fun to say.
It is kind of fun to say.
Yeah. Brian Bertundi.
Bertundi.
Cool, we're back. Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
It's lights out.
And away we go.
Yes, I always forget that you're about to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Every week. And away we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's start off with a question.
Uh-huh.
And I like this question. This is a good question.
Okay.
Dream 5-car garage. Go.
Oh,
However, has to be one SUV,
Yeah.
one sports car,
Okay.
one supercar, one hypercar,
Okay.
and one GT car.
Okay.
I think I got SUV, sports car, supercar, hypercar, GT car. Go.
Okay. GT car, Ford GT.
Okay. Do we consider that a GT car?
Oh, do you mean like a Grand Tourer?
A Grand Tourer.
So not like an AMG GTR, no.
Well, an AMG GTR is a Grand Tourer.
There is a Grand Tourer.
A Grand Tourer, so something
F1
huge
car.
engine in the front. You're at the back of the engine. You're
Yeah.
behind the engine.
Yeah.
It's a huge long
Oh,
bonnet.
I already know what I'm going to do. F12 TDF.
It's a good shout. I knew you were going to say one of those. Or
Yeah,
the 812.
or the 812 Superfast. Okay, F12 TDF, which
Okay.
is a Ferrari, if you don't know.
Okay.
In yellow as well.
Gangster.
Yeah.
Love that.
Uh,
Black wheels?
Hmm?
Black wheels?
Yes, black wheels, of course. Black wheels, yellow car with the stripe.
What colour stripe?
It comes in the Italian stripe, doesn't it?
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then for my supercar, I can't go Ferrari again. I'm going to go Ferrari 458 because
Love
that's my
that.
dream car.
Yeah.
Not even the Italia, the regular one is my dream car.
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer that over the Italia.
Mm-hmm.
SUV is a G-Wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that recently. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get a G-Wagon.
I can't wait to get.
Can't wait to get a
I'm
G-Wagon.
so loaded. I can get a G-Wagon.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What was it? And then F1 car. So F1 car that... Did you say F1
Hypercar.
car? Oh, you said hypercar.
SUV, sports car, supercar, hypercar, GT car.
Sports car. Yeah, Boxster.
Interesting.
I think that counts. Like a sports car is something like 50k-ish, right?
Yeah. I think.
Could
Yeah.
you get like a 911 for a sports car?
See, I think so.
Okay.
When's it? Oh, is it a super? Yeah. No. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
not like a GT3 or anything like that. Just like a normal.
Yeah, okay, I
911.
get a 911 for daily driving. I
what
daily
the
that. I
SUV 's
daily
for.
that in the SUV.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And your SUV. Wait. So you said. Wait. Hold on. SUV, G-Wagon.
Yeah.
Sports car, 911.
Yeah.
Supercar.
I'd have to go
488.
Italia then for 458 Italia.
Oh, sorry, 458.
Yeah.
Italia.
Yeah.
And then the first one you said was a
F12 TDF.
and then your hypercar.
This is a hard one because I think I want to say Bugatti, but I think I'd always hate myself if I didn't go for a Zonda.
Wow, that's big.
I think I have to go for a Zonda. I love it. I love the Zonda.
Which Zonda?
If I could get the Lewis Hamilton edition.
The Huayra?
No,
The Huayra?
that's isn't it Pagani? No, it's a Pagani Zonda. It's either the Zonda or the Huayra.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the Huayra. So it's there's the Huayra or the Zonda? Oh, okay, sorry, yeah.
I get the Zonda LH. It's a
Oh.
manual 760 horsepower made for Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, in purple.
Yeah, in purple. It's
Great
his one.
colour.
He drives. He sold it.
One in Muppet.
13 mil or something.
Oh, that's fair enough.
But he sold it because he wanted to be more environmentally conscious. So he sold like loads of his hypercars.
Boring.
I know.
Anyway, carry on.
Almost stopped supporting him.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was it.
That's it.
I think that's it, yeah. What would you go for? Go supercar first.
Supercar, Lamborghini Aventador, the first edition one, literally the one that I fell in love with.
Yeah.
So like
Great
2013,
The 2013.
2012 model, whatever it was. What did it come out in 20? I think it was 2011 actually.
I have a feeling it's either 11 or 13, so I think it's 11.
One of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the first one that came out, I don't care about the
Yeah.
old it looks. Like to me, that was the one that I was like, whoa, that's just
nice.
I was
Yeah,
like, I've
that
never
was
seen
great.
anything like
That
that.
looked like a spaceship on the road,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
So that's the one
you
I
can't
fell in love
you
with.
can't fault that. I can't fault that at all.
For my SUV, I struggle with the SUV because
I know. Oh, I know
think-
kind of what you're gonna say.
God, what do you think I'm going to say?
With the SUV, no, not actually. With the SUV, I think you might say the Urus.
No,
Oh, really?
I think I'm going to go Bentayga.
Okay.
A Bentley Bentayga, I think.
See, I thought you would go Continental GT for the Tourer instead.
I think I am still going to do that.
Okay, so you're gonna go double Bentley.
I think I'm going to go double Bentley.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what did I say? An Aventador for supercar,
Yeah.
Bentley Continental GT for my GT car,
Yeah.
a Bentley Bentayga. Bentley Bentayga for
Yeah.
my SUV.
I'm surprised neither of us went with the Cullinan.
Yeah, but
It's a bit too much.
yeah, if it looks different on the outside, at the inside, you know that it's just plush. Yeah, the whole thing's just
it's
plush.
just amazing.
But it just does look like a taxi, and it just slightly does my head
Do
in.
you know what I find funny about Rolls Royces? You know, they have the massive front grille. I always say it's that you can't see the poor people you're running over. Just driving along, you're so high up, you can't see. Oh, hit a little speed bump today.
We can't put that in.
No, you can't put that in. I can't put that joke in. I really can't say that.
We really can't say that. Okay, right, that's being cut. Oh god, that was bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
I was like, but it's not me. I'm not the one driving a Rolls Royce, so I'm not being like. Oh.
Anyway,
what?
yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anyway, right, moving on. So you. Anyway, okay, so Cullinan running over all the poor people, but no. And okay, so yes, the Cullinan I probably wouldn't have because it looks like a. But no, but now you're making me change my mind about my Bentley. No, I think I'm going to change my Bentley GT. That I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Really?
I'm going to take a Wraith.
car. Oh, how did I forget Wraith?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a Wraith. Now you said Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
I think I'll take a. You've got to have a Rolls Royce in there.
You
Bentley.
do. I would swap my TDF for a Wraith as well.
Would ya?
Yeah.
That's bold. That's probably the most bold.
But
thing.
I said TDF was a Tourer, so
Is a Wraith
that's the thing. The Wraith's not really a Tourer.
What is it?
It's like it is a V12 or something, or
It's a V12.
yeah, in the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more just like a luxury
Yeah, so it's a
cruiser. It's like a cruiser more than the Tourer.
Yeah, I don't actually
Tourer's
know
a bit
that.
more sporty. Cruiser's a bit more cruise.
Cruise is a bit more cruise.
Yeah, you like tour more with a Tourer.
Yeah, and you cruise more with a cruiser. Okay.
But I think the point of a Tourer is you take it on a long drive, then you
Yeah.
take it to a track.
Okay, so if we're going with those parameters, then I'll say Bentley GT.
Yeah.
Bentley GT Continental.
Yeah.
Continental GT.
Yeah.
Okay, Bentley Bentayga. Aventador. My sports car. I think I'm going to have to agree with you and take a Porsche 911. I feel like they're in that price bracket. They're just pretty.
It's the best car for its price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that means you've got a Porsche as well, which is great.
Yeah.
And then my hypercar. I feel like all my cars are very relaxing, so I need something that's very kind of.
Which is funny because
Track
all of
focused.
mine are very track focused and not very relaxing.
But that shows us.
Yeah.
We're very like that.
I love racing. Like
Yeah.
I want my cars to be like race cars. Where
Yeah.
You want your cars to be.
I like
more-
my cars with like smooth lines. And like
Yeah.
quite.
It's like
Sophisticated.
whenever I send you a
Apart
video
from
of a
events,
car, they bolted a massive rear wing on. I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah.
More aero. Give me
Yeah.
more aero.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, smooth the edges out,
Yeah,
man. Make
yeah.
it look smooth like a Bentley. Just keep it nice panels.
Do you know what I just thought would be a great Tourer? Because we haven't thought about the electric cars. I think a Taycan could be quite good.
Yeah, until it runs out of battery after a silly amount of.
Yeah,
Because you've got the music on. You'll have your music on. You'll have your heating on.
You'll have
or
your aircon on.
Aircon on.
You charge your phone. at
Charge
all
your
time.
phone. Yeah, charge your phone. Then just terrible.
Yeah.
Man. At the moment, I wouldn't take one.
No, I wouldn't get another.
And I don't like. I'm putting it out there. I don't like Teslas at all.
Oh, I hate Teslas. I think Teslas are awful.
Poor build quality.
Yeah. For the amount of money you're paying.
Yeah.
If you're paying 30k for one, even 30k for one, if you're paying 20k for one,
Yeah.
because you're getting like Golf interior build quality.
It's worse, I reckon.
And then, actually, Golfs are actually pretty well built.
Yeah, Golfs are very well built, yeah.
But, like, it's like they just slap a big iPad in the middle and they're like, wow, look at our car.
And it looks like a fish.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to drive one? I've never driven one, but I've sat in the passenger next to someone driving it. And it's like, to like wash the windscreen wipers, it's like, you click on the infotainment and you click on wipers, then you have to click another button to get it up. You can't just press something on the stalk. It's so distracting.
Yeah, I can't bother with any of that.
Yeah.
Don't like them, get rid of them.
I can barely drive my car and it doesn't have a heads-up display. Let alone...
Wait, what? Yours has a heads-up display, does it?
It doesn't. My parents' car does.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry, yeah.
But I struggle.
Yeah. I still don't know what I'm going to do hypercar-wise. I think I'm going to have to go laugh. I think I'm going to have to go laugh. Yeah, because also I need a Ferrari in there, so I'm going to go laugh.
That's a really good car. I just
Yeah.
forgot about the laugh.
So that's mine. So laugh. So mine was laugh, Aventador, 911, Bentley Continental GT, and Bentley Bentayga. Yours was Zonda, 911 as well, G-Wagon, TDF, and 458 Italia.
Yeah. Great choices.
Thing is, the good thing about that is because me and him are best mates. The instance if we were to get those 5 cars each, we can drive each other's cars.
Yeah, you can definitely drive mine.
Yeah, you can definitely drive my cars.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it'd be sick. We don't have to get the same ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we can just drive each other's.
Yeah.
We also said when we were younger, we used to say to each other, what we're going to do is we're going to buy a house next to each other.
Yeah.
That's what we said to each other, didn't we? And we were like, and then we can go and play zombies. We used to love playing zombies.
We'd say we play zombies.
Call of Duty.
We're like, we'll buy a house next to each other and we can have like a little tunnel in between so we can just walk between them whenever we wanted.
Yeah.
And then we were like, in the tunnel, we'll put this big game room in and we'll play games. And then our wives will be like, where are they? And we're just in this tunnel playing games with each other. That was like our life goal and our life plan.
Yeah, our life plan when we were like 13.
It was until we went to like uni, really. It was our life goals. And we're like,
mate, that's still my life goal. That
it's still my life. It would still be sick. We have like a man cave that we could both access in and just play whenever we want.
It's a joke.
We'll record podcasts in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's
a
the new
business
dream
expense.
again.
Yeah, it's a new dream. We're bringing this dream back. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. And it's this dream.
It's this
This
one.
is what he fought for.
Oh, man.
Oh, he really didn't fight for that, did he?
No, he didn't.
No.
He fought for something much more important
Yeah.
than us playing Call of Duty Zombies at 3 o'clock in the morning. Right.
Oh, right.
Moving on.
Oh, I've got a good question, actually.
Oh, go
All
on.
right. So, keep, destroy, drive once.
Mm-hmm.
Ferrari F1 car. I know we talked about this last week. Ferrari F1 car. Aston Martin F1 car. Alfa Romeo F1 car.
What was it? Keep.
Keep in your house one.
Yeah.
Scrap it so you never ever see it again.
Yeah.
And then drive once.
Scrap the Alpha. Drive the Aston. Keep the Ferrari.
Oh, really? You drive the Aston, keep the Ferrari?
Yeah.
I thought you'd want to drive the Ferrari, keep the Aston. Because the Aston's a good looking car.
Oh, yeah, good point. Drive the Ferrari, keep the Aston. No, thank you. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Easily swayed there.
Very easily swayed.
Yeah.
No, there you go. Done. That's all I need. Yours gone.
So I would do, but I don't really like. I like the Mercedes. If I did Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston. That's
No. That wasn't the question you gave me. You gave me a
I
completely different question. You have to do the own question that you just gave me.
Okay.
So go. You can't just like give me a question and go, well, I'm not going to answer the same
I'm
one.
not going to answer that.
I'm going to ask my own
That was
one.
too difficult.
Go.
Scrap the Alpha.
Yep.
Keep the Ferrari, drive the Aston.
Are you doing the opposite? As in, like, is your mentality the opposite? So that because you won't.
I want to look at that Ferrari.
You want to look at the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I'll stick with
Switch
mine.
the Alpha and put Mercedes in that. So Mercedes, Aston, Ferrari.
Ditch the Aston. Drive the Mercedes. Keep the Ferrari.
Okay, I'd ditch the Aston.
Whose cars are the each? Tell me the names of the drivers of each of these cars. What year? they are.
Okay. So Alonso.
Okay,
it's
so
all
this
of
year.
All of this year.
All this year.
So Alonso, Hamilton, Leclerc.
Scrap the Aston.
Yep.
Oh, actually,
It's hard.
I'm keeping the Ferrari. It's just whether I drive the Aston or the Mercedes. But you can't scrap the Mercedes.
Can't scrap the Mercedes.
Can't believe I'm thinking of scrapping the Mercedes. No, I'm gonna have to. I'm a Mercedes fan, so scrap the Aston, drive the Mercedes, even though it's the worst out of the three.
Yeah.
And keep the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Scotland.
Scrap the Aston, drive the Ferrari, keep the Mercedes.
Okay. I'm happy with
Would you say the
either
Mercedes
role.
is the worst of the three?
This year?
Hmm.
Yeah.
It says worse than the Ferrari. So far.
No. Yeah. What do you mean?
You think?
Driving wise?
Yeah. On track. Like the Ferrari's quicker on one lap pace, but over a race stint, I think Mercedes actually has the edge over a race period.
Yeah, you might be right, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
actually, you
taking
are right.
reliability into account.
Yeah, you are right, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Over
I'd still
one
wanna
lap,
look at that.
over one lap, that Ferrari is quicker, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think over a race, they're managing the engine too much and they're managing the tyres too much.
Yeah. True.
So I'd actually argue, yeah. Do you know what I would burn even if I didn't have to?
Oh, as in you just because you can.
Yeah. I would burn the McLaren.
You would burn the McLaren. Oh, this was perfect. Well played, sir.
I would burn the McLaren.
Well played, sir. Well played. So, we're going to talk about McLaren today,
Yeah,
aren't
funnily enough, we're talking about McLaren.
we? You'd burn that McLaren.
It's an ugly car.
It's terrible.
It's an
looking thing.
ugly car. It's a slow car. It's one of the ugliest on the grid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a slow car.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing.
Horrible in every sense of the word.
How funny was it when it had DRS against the Williams? And
Oh
he
my.
couldn't pass it.
Could not pass them. That's how draggy that car
Yeah.
is.
And then you got the Red Bull, which was 33 kilometers an hour faster than the Mercedes. Did you see that video of it,
goodness
like
me.
going past George Russell
Yeah.
in the race? And
Yeah.
it was just like, what?
It was like, was George, like, does George even need to be there? Like,
Yeah.
you're just flying past.
I was having a great conversation with one of my mates about this, and he was like, that no one even really gave Verstappen much credit for like 15th to second place because it was so easy.
Yeah.
Because they were so much faster in the straight line.
Yeah.
They're like, even though it's a great drive, no one really was like, oh, well done, Max.
Yeah.
They were just like, okay,
They were like, that's what everyone expected.
yeah. And you just did what was expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping heck,
It's
it is
crazy.
just, it's crazy speed. Crazy
And then on the
pace.
complete opposite side of that,
It's
it's
just probably one of the slowest cars on the grid.
yeah. Do you want to know? I actually heard an interesting thing. So I was watching a report with Gary Anderson. I've been watching the Races podcast quite a bit, and so this wasn't me, so I didn't figure this out, obviously.
Okay.
And he was saying why the Red Bull is so fast with the DRS, like in a straight line, it's not the fastest car in a straight line, but when it opens the DRS, it gets so much more out because of the angle of the beam wing. Means that when it opens up, the aero over the rear of the floor of the car and the underfloor stalls, which means that it loses drag underneath the car, on the floor and the rear wing, not just on the rear wing.
Oh my word.
Yeah. The whole rear of the car, the air just stalls, which means that it's not creating drag, which means that it gets even more speed. And when it shuts, it then starts creating downforce.
That's genius, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That is genius.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that was a bit of a lucky?
No.
Or that was complete genius?
It requires like unbelievable understanding of the underfloor of the car.
Yeah.
And that's why the Red Bull's so quick, is because with these ground effect cars, the most important part of the car is the underfloor, because for every 1 point of drag you get with the underfloor, you get 10 points of downforce. Whereas like with a rear wing, every 1 point of drag you get 3 points of downforce. So if you can maximize just 1 point on the underfloor, you're gaining like 10 points of downforce. That's an archaic scale, but that's like the rough scale of how much better an underfloor is compared to the rear wing in this ground effect era. So Red Bull have absolutely nailed the underfloor of the car.
Yeah.
Which means that's why they're able to just do so well. Because it requires really fine nuancing of the car to be able to have it work so well like that. So they must understand it well to be able to nuance it well like that.
Do you want to stop talking about Red Bull now and talk about
I know. You know what's just depressing? It's just talking about McLaren.
Can I bring it back then? Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Let's go back a bit.
Okay.
I won't go too far. Obviously, I was thinking of 2021.
Yeah.
I won't talk too much about 2021. I'll talk a little bit more about 2022.
But 2021 was
2021. They had quite a good season. I think they were just behind. In pace wise, just that season, they were knocking the heels of Ferrari.
Yeah, they were faster than Ferrari at the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Second half of the season, they kind of dropped off from them.
Yeah.
Whether budget or wind tunnel time or anything like that.
I think wind tunnel's been a huge factor for them over the past few years.
Yeah, because for people who don't know, they're rebuilding the wind tunnel, so they haven't really had a proper one to work with.
Yeah.
But best of the rest, can't complain.
Yeah.
Very upward trajectory from where they were.
Yeah.
Like being behind Renault, they had the awful years with Honda, and then it was like, okay,
they blame a lot of that on Honda. They blame a lot of their engine problems on Honda, and then when they went over to the Renaults, then they realised how bad their chassis was.
Yeah,
so they were like,
this is the issue with it. It's like they always seem to. It's always an excuse of like, oh, it wasn't us. We had a great chassis. It's the Honda which is awful.
Yeah,
and then they just got exposed when it was like, actually, your chassis is also miles behind.
Yeah,
yeah,
they've had an absolute nightmare. But Daniel Ricciardo did win a race in 2021 at Monza. Yeah.
So Lando Norris got
Lando
podiums in 2020, 2021. He got some good podiums.
Yeah, and Lando's been a very stable and consistent driver for them over the years.
Do you want to know a fun fact? You know 2021 was obviously dominated by Hamilton and Max.
Mm-hmm.
The only 1-2 that whole season was the McLaren team.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a good fact, that. I like that. Good for McLaren.
Yeah, well done for them.
But yeah, anyway, going on to 2022.
Yeah.
That's when things really started to drop off. So they got in 2021 they managed 141 points throughout the season.
Yeah.
In 2022 they got 65 points
in more races as well.
In more races, so they really dropped off. Keep in mind they were trying to be on the heels of Ferrari and stay.
Yeah, they wanted...
Whereas Ferrari the gap ended up being massive.
I mean, Ferrari smashed it, to be fair to them.
They did.
Yeah.
But absolutely did.
Like they wanted to be basically what Aston Martin are doing this year. Really, is what McLaren wanted to be doing.
Yeah. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a huge. They started off the season they've changed. They literally throughout the season were changing so much. So at the start of the season they were having overheat. The brakes were overheating, so they had to bring in completely new design to make the heating of what's it called, dissipating the heat from the brakes.
Yeah, like brake cooling.
Brake cooling. Thank you. And then they had floor issues going on throughout the season. They had rear diffuser problems. They had rear diffuser problems that they had to try and fix. They also had wing issues throughout the season. It's just problems in every single. But they keep changing it as well. Last year they kept changing things. Yeah. But it still didn't help.
It wasn't working.
Nothing was working.
Yeah, and it could be down to the fact that they don't have a proper wind tunnel, so they can't really test what they're doing.
True.
They're having to work. I don't know who's they're borrowing. Is it Mercedes?
I can't remember.
I don't know who's they're borrowing, but it doesn't help having to do that.
Yeah.
And then, like, the thing was, they came into this season, and they literally came into the season like, we're going to be awful. Mm. Like, they started the season.
They knew it.
They said, and they were like, I think they're bringing out a new car in Spain.
Race 4, they said.
Race 4, Imola. Yeah. So...
Well, no, because I think they're still on... They're going to bring their actual proper 2023 car that they would have brought at the start of the season, but because of delays...
It's because they said that they figured out what was wrong with the car too late.
Yeah.
And they were like, right. So they've got like basically a 2022 spec car.
Yeah.
When you look at it, like barely anything's changed on that car. So they've literally just been like, right, this car's going to be awful for at least 4 races. Well, the 4th race, they'll bring the new one.
Yeah.
Imola.
And they've also made some crazy personnel changes.
Yeah, James Key's
gone, and now they've decided there's going to be 3 different departments. There's 3 new people. I don't know the names of all of them, but there's 3 new people that are taking up specific roles instead of James Key.
Yeah.
So
with the James Key thing, I think I could tell it was going to happen.
Okay.
Because James Key wasn't at the launch event of the car. And I was like, why would your chief technical director not be at the launch of the car?
Yeah.
That's very suspicious.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's either ill or he's out the door.
Yeah.
And I think that they brought James Key in. He's got a history of working well with cars that borrow a lot of parts from other cars, and he's able to sort of like cultivate them as a good midfield team. But he's not exactly someone who's revolutionary. Right. He'll do amazing at a team like Haas. If Haas can get him, they've got like half their cars are Ferrari because they got so many Ferrari parts. He'll do so well at just keeping Haas as like a front midfield team, I think. But yeah, I wasn't surprised that he was gone. what was funny, and I didn't realize this, but someone reminded me that in Adrian Newey's book, so McLaren have tried this before back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Sorry, not the 90s, early 2000s, and Adrian Newey was like the chief technical director there, like the greatest technical director ever.
Yeah.
And McLaren tried to split his role into like 3 again, like they did. I can't remember what they call it, but basically they tried to like dissipate it like that during the Ron Dennis era. And Adrian Newey said this is the worst thing to ever happen to any team, and then he left for Red Bull, and then now look at how good Red Bull's been doing.
Exactly.
And it's like,
well, the words that I kept hearing over and over again while doing a little bit of research for this was this whole idea of blame culture. This is something that just kept going on.
Yeah.
And apparently, so throughout the years, McLaren has a bit of a history of people at McLaren blaming everyone else for all the issues and keep pointing fingers and not taking any responsibility for the issues that were happening.
Really bad in the Honda era. It was
Yes.
so bad in the Honda era because it was like Ron Dennis wouldn't take any of the blame. They were like, oh, it's all Honda. And Honda were like, well, one, they were partly to blame for Honda being so bad because they rushed Honda in a year early. Honda was supposed to come in 2016. McLaren were like, no, we want you in 2015 and rushed them in. 2, McLaren were working with this like size 0 concept, which was like a really skinny like top half of the car, which means that the whole engine needs to be squeezed to fit into that.
Yeah.
Which was just making it so unreliable and really unproductive because it wasn't like they were building around a good engine. They were like, you build the engine to fit this car.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no,
which limits it so much.
It really did limit it, and Honda didn't really have the manpower and the technology to be able to cope with that.
Yeah.
And then,
and like you say, if they've pulled them in a year early, they've had no time to do any.
Yeah, they didn't do any testing.
Any
they
testing
showed
or
the
any-
numbers to McLaren. They were like, these are the numbers we're getting. McLaren were like, yeah, that's fine. That should be fine.
Well,
because
that's
McLaren
insane.
didn't realise the step every other team were going to make.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, yeah, they rushed them in.
Mm.
And then just blamed them. And then they got the Renault engine instead.
And then the Renault engine was good.
It was better. It wasn't good.
It was better.
The third best engine.
But then that's when the chassis problems came up. And then
Yeah.
they went, oh my goodness me.
Yeah, we've designed an awful car.
Awful car.
And then James Key comes in, and he sort of turns it around. They get new... They got rid of that blame culture with Zach Brown coming in.
Yeah.
I think he was really good, and he was really instrumental in that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And they kind of got rid of that.
Good CEO. I like him. He seems like a nice enough guy as
Yeah,
well.
good guy.
Okay.
Good love for the sport, I think. You can
Yeah.
really tell he loves the sport, which
Yeah,
is good, which is really good. Especially for like an American, you kind of are a bit skeptical. Like an American running a British team, like,
Yeah.
what?
Don't bother me.
It doesn't bother me at all, but
No.
some people, they're definitely bothered. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
And their last championship was still Lewis Hamilton, 2008.
Yep.
That was the last one, which is still
Last drivers, yeah.
more recent than the Ferraris.
And I think their last constructors was 1999, 1998.
999.
I think maybe 1998. I think Ferrari won 1999.
Nice.
Yeah.
So a team like McLaren, it just feels, when you hear McLaren, you just think racing. Is that just me? When I hear McLaren, I just think racing, and especially with Senna and his car, like
Unreal, yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Were we talking about this the other week?
Yeah, we were talking about, because I was saying about Senna's car and how like good it was.
And how much did it sell for? Or how much is it worth?
There was like a 1991 that sold for, was it like 5 mil or something? Yeah, so the McLaren sold for like 5 mil or something.
Yeah.
And then the most expensive one is the 2002 Ferrari, F2002 Ferrari, which is one of the greatest cars ever, so
Yeah.
don't blame it.
I do love their facility though, the McLaren facility they've got that's like on that lake.
Yeah,
thing.
they got all the cars there. It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I really want to
What
go
actually
see
is that?
that.
Is that just like the HQ? Just the
It's just the
McLaren
HQ, yeah. McLaren. It's
McLaren HQ, if you've not seen it, just looks incredible. There's like a big lake in front of it, and you have to drive around the lake to get to the front doors.
Yeah.
And then like it's just massive big glass at the front.
Yeah, and then
It's such a cool place.
all the cars are lined up throughout the years.
Yeah. Oh, what a facility. Cool. Anything else that we need to touch on?
No, I just think McLaren are awful.
McLaren suck, and this year's going to be even more painful, I think.
Yeah, who do you think's gonna? So I'm still sticking by my. I think Lando is surprisingly struggling It's only been
Yeah.
2 races. He had a good first race, and he's had not a very good second race. But I'm
Yeah.
sticking by my Oscar.
But I feel
Piastri.
like McLaren in general is just a very, even over the past few years, it's just very inconsistent in lots of ways.
It's just
They're all over the place on the. When you actually look at all the placings of the drivers and Lando and all that, they're always 7th, 6th or 7th in the last few years, or they're like 16th, 15th, 16th, and there's never like. It just feels like there's never like an in between. They're either like, right, we're good at this track, or we're absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
There's just no consistency.
That's part of being a midfield team, though.
Of
Because if you
course.
were consistent, you'll be at the front, sort of thing.
But they're still supposed to be best of the rest, aren't they? Really, realistically.
Yeah. You kind of, if you want to be best of the rest as well, you kind of want to be that team which is like completely like you kind of don't want to be in no man's land, but at the same time, if you want to be best of the rest, you don't want to be like fighting. You want to be there to pick up the scraps when the top teams mess up, rather than like fighting loads with them and then maybe miss out on an opportunity. Like, you know how Ocon got that first place in Hungary or something.
Of course. Gasly got that random one.
Yeah. You kind of want to be that team that's always there, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course.
Which isn't, I mean, to be fair, I mean, still getting best of the rest is fine, but it's, I don't know. I think Imola will be a great race to see actually where they are.
Hopefully, because I like McLaren, I really do.
I think everyone likes Lando.
Yeah, Lando.
I think sometimes I'm like,
he's my second favourite driver as well.
yeah.
And basically, ever since he did the "It's Friday then,"
Yeah.
can you imagine
It's
driving a
Saturday,
car
Sunday.
at that
What?
speed and still just going "It's Friday then"?
Yeah.
Like that's just the coolest thing ever.
He's probably done a head bob as well.
Yeah, he 100% was doing the head bob. And I also watched a video recently of it was on YouTube. I did send it to you. It was Lando just had some random people and they did like Mario Kart go-karting.
Yeah.
That was such a funny video.
That was so funny.
That's really funny. If you guys haven't watched that, Lando, just bring. I don't know who they are. Just a group of YouTubers.
Oh, well, they're like they're called Quadrant or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Lando Norris has like a YouTube channel with like a few other YouTubers, like F1 YouTubers.
Okay.
I used to watch them when I was younger, and they were all like just random dorky kids playing F1, and now they're all like got like proper channels and they're, like with Lando Norris and stuff. But it's called like Quadrant, and they make content together and stuff.
Okay.
It's quite cool.
Okay, well, him and Quadrant then did basically all dressed up as Mario Kart
And they
drivers,
did,
and they did a go-karting track, and it was really entertaining.
Yeah, it's quite cool that Lando is quite ingrained in like that streaming. He's very involved with the fans, isn't he? Whereas like Lewis is not.
I think he's just more of a kid. I think Lando's just like us. Like how old is he? He's our age, isn't he? 23, 24.
Yeah, he's like our age.
Yeah, and like why not have a bit of fun? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just seems like a normal guy.
It just seems like I think that's why everyone really likes him. Whereas like Lewis is this like celebrity, superstar, sort of vibe, and even I mean Max streams and stuff, but you still get that kind of like a bit of a disconnect between. I would say compared to Lando Norris.
I agree. No, I fully agree.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an aura around Max and like
even Charles as well.
Charles
got that Monaco boy lifestyle aura.
Yeah.
Whereas Lando just seems
even
like
George. Like George isn't like Lando.
George is not connected to the.
No.
Is like,
No,
George,
he's very focused on his own thing.
Yeah.
George
George will be the guy who's driving that Rolls Royce at the beginning.
Yeah. 100%.
Whereas like
100%.
Lando just seems like he's down to earth.
Yeah.
A bit more.
Like you could if he was here and he just sat in a room here, you could
have a good chat
so
with him.
well.
Yeah, I reckon you could just have a nice chat with him sort of thing. Yeah.
That's it.
He's
a
a
nice guy.
And I get that vibe from Piastri as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Piastri's nice too.
We'll see. I'm really interested to see how the season plays out. Let's say if their Imola car is actually good. Like, I'm sticking by Piastri in the second half of the season is going to be beating Lando Norris, especially if the car stays this bad. I think Norris is going to get so frustrated at the car being this bad.
Yeah, and you think he's just going to. Like, what do you mean? You think he'll just get so frustrated it'll get into his head?
Yeah.
And then you just go, I'm so fed up with this, I can't be bothered. Like, did you really?
You know what? Actually,
I still can't imagine him being really like.
I don't think it's going to be a big difference. I don't think it's going to be a big difference. But do you think that? So you know how with Mick Schumacher, everyone thought he was really good, and then Kevin Magnussen was in the same car as him, and then they realised, oh wait, it was just Nikita Mazepin doing really bad. Like Mick Schumacher's actually not that good. Do you think that if Piastri beats Lando Norris, that could really damage his reputation?
No.
Because I think everyone thinks Lando's this really good driver. When like I know he was very early on in his career, but he was like drawing with Carlos Sainz. No one thinks Carlos Sainz is a great driver.
I still think Lando's a good driver.
Yeah.
I still don't think he's a bad driver. I don't think he's anything like Mick or anything like
No, I wouldn't say he's like Mick, but some people put him on par with like the top drivers, whereas like
I'd put him
would you put him on
behind.
par with George Russell?
No, I
No.
think George Russell's a better driver.
Yeah,
I think he's more talented.
yeah.
I think he's
I think it's Max and
I think
Lewis
he's-
up top.
Max and Lewis up top. Alonso's
Oh,
just
Alonso
under,
as well. Sorry,
and
I would put
Alonso
Alonso there. Yeah,
maybe just under because he's maybe a little bit older, but
still sharp as a
still
fox,
sharp
yeah,
as
yeah.
anything. So very, I'm not saying
Yeah.
there's much margin there, but
Yeah,
yeah, those are your three top ones.
yeah. Very close to behind George and
Leclerc.
Leclerc.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But
but then
I don't put Lando much further behind there.
I would probably put Lando there, and then just below that I would put Sainz, Bottas,
Yeah.
Gasly.
Gasly.
No, maybe not Gasly anymore. I'm not sure about. I'm a bit indecisive about Gasly, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'd probably put like Sainz, Bottas, and that just a bit below Lando.
Just a bit.
But I wouldn't put Lando with those others.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Where would you go if you were Lando Norris though? Because he's kind of stuck in McLaren right now.
He is. He's kind of McLaren through and through, isn't he? It feels.
But like,
But because it feels like now that we've just said what we've said, I feel like there's not much he can go up. He can only go down.
that's what I'm thinking. I don't see a spot in a top team where I'm like, because he's not going to go to Mercedes unless Lewis retires.
Yeah.
I can see George and Lando being teammates.
Yeah.
So I don't think
He's
going
not going to
go
end up at
Mercedes.
Red Bull. He's not going to end up at Ferrari.
You know what? I think Red Bull want him.
That would be interesting.
I think Red Bull want him because he gets along really well with Max. I think it won't be the best relationship, but I get the feeling that Red Bull do really want him.
Is that just your idea, or you've heard any rumours, or is that just your?
It's my idea, and it's I think it might be. It's not the most unpopular idea, but with how they're treating, I don't think they're 100% sold on Perez. I think with everything that happened in the Saudi race, it's just showing that Team Max don't like Perez.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that
If you were Lando, you'd go to Red Bull.
I'd go
yeah?
to Red Bull. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the best team. You prove yourself against the best driver on the grid.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, no one's actually like as much as I like Lewis. He's not driving at Max's level at the moment.
Absolutely not. Max is in his own league.
He's in his own league. So come on, prove yourself, Lando. I think
Absolutely, and I'd love him to do well. He's my second favourite driver.
I would love Lando to go to Red Bull.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like Lando's contract's up next year. Perez's contract's up next year.
Yeah.
You got Ricardo in that
They
third
could
seat
swap.
as well. Ricardo gets along really well with Lando.
Yeah.
Max gets along really well with Lando. Those three would get, obviously, if Max and Lando are fighting for a championship, that's going to sour really quickly. But
Very. And what did I hear? Oh, I heard something really silly earlier. I don't know if it's actually. It was something like Daniel Ricciardo's left McLaren, gone to Red Bull or back to Red Bull, and has got he's got more points than McLaren have, and he doesn't even drive a car. I didn't really understand it.
no, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it didn't make any sense. There was some meme or some video, and I was very confused about it. And it was like,
You probably saw it on my meme page because I remember posting. I think you sent me something like that. Also, I have a meme page if you don't know.
what's it
Follow
called?
At Formula Bonotto.
Formula Bonotto. How many followers do you have now?
1,200.
He's so happy about that.
yeah.
He's so happy about that.
When 1,200 followers on a meme page. I'm quite happy about that.
When did you start it?
So I post like one a day, and I've posted like 100 and something. So about
That's a
100 days
lot.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and follow that. And obviously, it's like that.
Yeah.
So go and follow that as well.
Yeah.
What else? And Imperium Experiences. When is the next Imperium
Soon.
Experiences?
So we got
competition?
Imperium Experiences. If you want to win some tickets to the Hungarian F1 Grand Prix,
Gosh, the same one we went to.
same one we went to. It's great fun being
It's
out there. by the way.
so good.
Yeah, Hungary was like the best race. It's such a good race to go to.
Yeah.
But we got that competition running. It may be in a couple of weeks' time, I think. Actually,
Cool.
it's actually technically live on the site. Someone did buy a ticket today, but it's
Gosh.
finishing in like April 14th.
Okay.
I haven't really started the promos for it. I'll start the promos soon, but keep an eye out for that, and you'll,
Yeah.
for a chance to win some tickets.
Lovely stuff. Get in there for that
Yeah.
one. You definitely want tickets because
Yeah,
that's sick.
yeah.
Rachel's question time. I don't know if that was the jingle, but that's what we're going for.
That's what we're going with. We're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Rachel said, why in F1 do they have like these engines that they use currently if the old engines were so much better? Because I always talk about why the old engines are a lot better. It's just like the one that they use.
So much better, the V10s and stuff. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the scream of the engine.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It is a sad time, really.
Yeah.
But also not.
Yeah, but the reason why they switch engine is they need to push technology forward in the real world. So it needs to be an innovator, not like a follower.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of F1. So they had to go to some sort of hybrid tech because that's where the world was moving to, is these hybrid technologies. So as I said in a previous podcast, they were going to go to a 4-cylinder engine, which I'm so glad they didn't. So they went to the V6 turbo hybrids instead. And then because the MGU-H doesn't really get used much in the real world, they're actually ditching that in the next rule set in 2026.
Explain MGU-H, please.
So that literally is just the MGU is the motor generator unit, and then the H stands for heat. So it generates power through converting heat energy into electrical power.
Knowledge drop.
But yeah, the main reason why is they need to be pushing technology. As much as I love the V8s and I love the screams of the V10s and I love the V12s, I never really watched the V12 era that much, but V12 turbos were insane engines, by the way. 1980s, if you ever did want to watch those. But yeah, the reason why is they need to push technology forward.
And generally just the planet.
Yeah.
They're very, at the moment,
Trying to be
the whole
neutral.
world is very environmentally conscious.
That was actually another question Rachel had, actually. She was like, are F1 doing anything towards trying to be carbon neutral? I thought,
Genuinely, I think F1's probably doing the most.
sort of, but then you look at the calendar at the same time. Because they're going towards carbon neutral and they're doing a really good job. But then you look at the calendar and you're like, why are you flying across the world for 1 week and then going back across the world for another week?
Okay, I do get that.
There's efficiencies they can make, but F1 are doing a really good job. And I think people don't give it enough credit for how well they're doing to be carbon neutral.
Yes.
Yeah.
The engine efficiency, the cars we drive today, one of the big factors as to why they are so efficient is genuinely because of F1. And people don't know that.
Yeah.
People think that that's just what engines... A car being able to go 400 miles on a single tank, if you drive it properly, is literally insane.
Yeah, it is.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed.
Absolutely. Hope you enjoyed us chatting a load of rubbish, as per usual.
And making fun of McLaren.
Making fun of McLaren.
It's a nice change. We usually make fun of Williams.
Let's stop there.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Talking of Duracell.
Duracell batteries.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, it's been fun. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Peace.